This is math lesson part 2 for May 19th, 2020. I wish we were doing this in person because this can get a little bit tricky for some third graders. Some of you will understand it this year and some of you will understand it another year. This is really involving the distributive property of multiplication. If this rectangle were all one color, it would be very easy for your eye to see 1 row of 7, 2 rows of 7, 3 rows of 7. 3 times 7 equals 21. The area is 21 units squared. There's a really cool trick though. Let's pretend you didn't know your 7's multiplications. You could sort of cut this up into 2 smaller rectangles. Yes, a square is a rectangle. And for this, they made it 2 different colors, so it's easy for your eyes to see that they split this into 2 smaller rectangles. Now let's pretend you do know 3 times 3 and 3 times 4. 3 times 3 equals 9, so this yellow section is worth 9 square units. 3 times 4 equals 12. Then you can add 9 plus 12 equals 21. Now, there's a way that you could write this as one equation. 3 rows of 3, which is this yellow section, plus the 3 rows of 4, which is this green section, equals 21 square units. Now there's other ways you could break this rectangle up. You could divide it here and call it 3 rows of 1 plus 3 rows of 6. Or you could divide it here, which is something I like better, because a lot of you know your 2's and 5's. 3 rows of 2 and 3 rows of 5, and then you add them together. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 5 is 15, 15 plus 6 equals 21. There are different ways to divide that rectangle. This shows the different ways that you could divide the rectangle above. 3 rows of 1 plus 3 rows of 6 is the same as 3 rows of 7 because 1 plus 6 equals 7. 3 rows of 2 plus 3 rows of 5 is the same as 3 rows of 7 because 2 plus 5 equals 7. 3 rows of 3 plus 3 rows of 4 is the same as 3 times 7 because 3 plus 4 does equal 7. Or 1 row of 7 plus 2 rows of 7 is the same as 3 rows of 7 because 1 plus 2 equals 3. I know it sounds a little bit strange. This is how you would write one equation for 3 rows of 3 plus 3 rows of 4. That is math lesson part 2 for May 19th.